Humans and pets. Today it is 100 degrees outside. We got some delicious food. We're gonna be eating it.
There you go.
Hopefully delicious.
Let's hope it's delicious. It's always used to be.
Yeah.
So we mentioned the place before. So today we went back to a place that back in the day I used to pull a phone cable to a subcontract to New England Telephone back in the early 80s. And this place was a little deli. It's in Worcester, Massachusetts. And when Ryan started eating grinders, after he thought they were really good grinders, we introduced him to one of these.
I ate one of these. They were really, really
and
good.
These are like his staple grinder.
Yeah.
But the reason we went back here is because one of the guys who were trying to roof the house actually said they make one of the best steak and cheese grinders. And since we just recently had a few episodes of steak and cheese grinders.
And grinders in general.
And he wanted to go back and just try.
I want to go back.
Yes. So back in the day, they used to be, that's the hot pepper one, okay.
I'm getting stop.
So back when I used to go back in the 80s, they were, we got one for
Let's say the name of the place.
I did, Regatta Deli.
Regatta Deli.
Yes, it's in Worcester,
Worcester?
Mass. Yes.
Massachusetts.
On Google, so we looked at that, they actually have like 4.5 stars.
Yeah.
With how many actual people do you remember?
A good 650.
About 650 people rated it. The place used to be phenomenal. We haven't gone in a little while, but it's something about the whatever dressing they like,
And the bread.
oil. It's always fresh.
So what we got today?
Yes, go ahead.
Like you said, we got the steak and cheese bomb. We added hots to that, and then we also got the Regatta Italian Club,
Yes.
and we added hots to that. We're gonna be eating it today. We have high expectations, and if they don't succeed, we will be disappointed.
That was their signature back in they had like the regatta thing. And this grinder, which is like a big Italian loaf, it's like a half
piece of
loaf,
bread.
and it's like a nice fresh bread all the time.
Yeah.
It used to be $2.50 for this.
$2.50.
Right now they've finally gone up in prices.
Like $5.06?
This is $5.75 for one with the hot peppers. It was like $6.25.
Yeah.
And then the steak and cheese one was $9.45. I've never had the steak and cheese.
Me either.
And but when the roofer was giving me what he was going to charge to go on the roof, he's like, "Oh, that's my favorite place for steak and cheese." So we'll just give you a quick look at the sub.
That's what it is. It's a big like piece of bread.
Yep.
With a ton of goodies inside.
That's just it. It's not overwhelming amount of meat inside. They just the oil and vinegar or whatever they put
Whatever's on it, it's magical.
Is which side do you want, right? The back side or
I'll
the front
take the
side?
back.
This side?
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you, because I know this is your favorite, so I'm going to give you a little bit bigger on this one.
I'm a fan of this. It's
And-
his favorite too.
It is.
Don't let him
It
lie.
is. Yeah. It
We
definitely
are
is.
big fans. I've only had it one other time.
And it's just, I don't know. The bread itself is just always delicious.
It's a good piece of bread.
Now I've never had their
Never had
steak.
steak
Oh
and
my
cheese.
goodness,
It looks sloppy.
that's awesome. So it's definitely got the cheese on it. So let me just show you this. It's
There it
covered.
is.
It's covered in cheese.
Covered in cheese. It has tons of steak.
Yes, it does. So this is
Mushrooms.
You want to try the mushroom?
No,
I
save
know
it
you
for
don't like
later.
mushrooms. All right. So are you going to just try this one first?
Let's just try this one,
Okay.
and then we'll go into the steak and cheese.
You want to try the
bomb.
steak and freeze first because you know you love this one.
No, I want to use this one first because I know I love this one.
All right.
Let's eat it. It's a good piece of bread.
It always is. The good thing I always like about it too is they shred their lettuce, which at first I didn't think I was gonna like, and then they put this oil that they have on it, like a salad dressing, and it just, I don't know, it tastes almost like a slaw because it has the shredded lettuce that way.
It's magical.
It does. It just adds a nice flavor to the sandwich. The thing I always love about it is their bread. You know, because you get a half loaf, so by the time you're done eating it, you're full.
Yeah.
But their bread is just always super fresh. Just like I remember. The fun part of it is, is the store itself is a tiny little deli.
Mhm.
And like to see the building, it's just a small little place.
It's like 6 parking lots, like spots out front.
But it's right in downtown Worcester, and like I've gone there and they have food, you know, because all the area companies, because again, it has good food for cheap money. And when we said we were going to go to somewhere, this was one place. He kept saying, "Can we go here? Can we go here?" Because again, when we started trying like the Jersey Mike's and the different places, I said, "Ryan, I'm going to bring you to this place, and you may not like it. You'll have to see, but it's just something about it." Again, it's not overly stuffed with meat. It doesn't have a ton of the vegetables on there. It's just a good sandwich because it's just quality bread.
Yeah. Now the cheese and the meat's good.
It is. It's fresh.
Lettuce is good.
Yeah.
The best thing on here is the magic they put on that sauce. And the hots is really good.
Mhm.
It fits.
And this was the first place I'm like, you got to get it with hots, Ryan, because it's just a hoagie spread. It's not going to be hot.
I've never had it before.
Yeah.
So I got it, and I love it. So
It just acts like a salad dressing when you mix the two. The whatever they do, the oil and spices are just delicious in it.
this is good.
Mm-hmm.
We also got one for Mommy.
Yes. Yeah, this is one of them places that I'd never hear the end of it if I didn't bring one of those home for it. So it's just a good. Again, it's nothing super special. It's just good. I've had grinders with more meat in them. I've had grinders with, but
More
it's just
cheese,
it's just
more
everything
everything.
about it.
It's
just
such
works.
a good combination.
And back in the day, $2.50 for a big Italian loaf grinder like this, you couldn't beat it. You couldn't beat that. And so
Even now,
for the regular, it's
It's either
$5.75.
this-
Yeah.
or $5 foot long, which they don't do anymore.
Yeah.
But I'll say that's the closest comparison.
Yeah.
And it's not on the menu anymore. But
In this one, it looks
this is better.
it looks smaller because it's an Italian bread instead of an actual foot long. You know what I mean?
But you
So
can barely open your mouth to the size of the bread.
it's just good. It
So
really
good.
is. That's the one thing about it. To where I always liked it because it's the actual bread that just makes the sandwich to me. You know what I mean? Because some people will say there's too much bread in it, but to me it's just like eating a nice fresh bread, and that's why I like the hot spread on it. It just adds like a flavor.
10 out of 10.
This one has always been a favorite. Yeah. I did more talking. So you want the back or the front of them?
I'll take the back.
The back. You want how right in
cut
half?
yeah.
All right. I gave you a little.
So we're
more.
going on to steak and cheese bomb.
I gave you a little
Let me
more.
read what's on both of them.
So I'm just gonna show his because it's easier to hold. So that's, and then they got the melted cheese all over it, like it's wrapped up.
So on the Regatta Italian Club, there's Genoa salami, ham, provolone cheese, lettuce, tomato, onion, and a dressing on a famous half loaf Italian bread.
Mm-hmm.
And on this one, thickly sliced steak and American cheese on the grill with seasoning, green peppers, mushrooms, and onions. So, we'll eat them.
And it's funny because I knew they have a huge menu too.
Oh, yeah.
Because they make everything. They make like pasta dishes, all kinds of stuff in there. And I just happened to mention a place when one of the guys would give me an assessment on what he thought the roof was going to cost. And he's like, "Oh, that's my favorite place. They make the best steak and cheese." I'm like, "Really? I've
It's
never
funny,
had
I
one
think
there."
the only thing he's eaten from there is that.
It is.
Out of their really large and pretty much inexpensive menu.
But I couldn't get away from them because they were so addictive. And like again, I pulled a lot of phone cable and I pulled it all over Mass when we were doing it because we were down in Taunton, we were up in Danvers, we were all over the place. But a lot of it was out of Worcester. So anytime the company was driving through, I'd be like, "Mark, we're going by Regatta Deli. You know, you want me to stop?" And he's like, I'm like, I'll buy. And he never had money, so he's like, all right, let's go. And he'd pull in. We got big trucks with all the wheels on it. We'd run across the street. I'd buy everyone grinders. Because again, they were like $250. You know,
Yeah.
they went up to $275. I'm like, oh, I can't afford it anymore. All right.
This is really good. I hope this is really good.
Now we're gonna
It
say.
looks
Now you've been
really good.
doing the steak and cheeses lately.
And I'm not a fan of steak.
No, but they've been good.
They've been really good.
So, oh, I'm a
It looks
fan of
really
that
yummy.
right there.
Has a lot of like sauce and cheese everywhere.
Have you taken a bite yet?
Not yet.
I just threw a mushroom in my mouth. All right, I want to see what you
It
say.
is seasoned. It said.
This. I could eat this wrapper right now. Let's just.
Oh no! Don't eat the wrapper. That's not healthy.
Okay, let's see what it tastes like. Go ahead.
This looks really good.
I'm gonna let you tell me what you think.
Wow.
This is almost like it reminds me like what I always thought of I haven't even tried a bite yet, but this is to look at it. I always watched on TV and people are eating a real Philly cheesesteak and they always say, you know, if your paper ain't greasy, you ain't eating a Philly cheesesteak. Or that's where the lean and the hunch, so you don't eat it and spill your shirt, comes from.
This is so cheesy.
And they always do like the French dips where you can actually dip your sandwich in the au jus, you know. But so what do you think?
This is good. What are you thinking? He's smiling. So that must be a good sign.
I want to get the true assessment. Hold on.
It is so good with the hots.
I do like the hots as an additive, but you don't even need it because the meat is like soaked
With cheese.
in a, well, not only cheese,
And
like it
sauce.
has a delicious, it's almost like an au jus sauce on the
Yeah.
meat itself. It's
The
so
meat's-
flavored.
I think I read something. It's seasoned.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff in here, the peppers, and the onions, and the mushrooms and stuff. Really good.
The onions are cooked the way I like it.
Yeah.
Where they're not caramelized, they're not disintegrated.
But
they still have that
they have
nice
a
onion
crunch,
crunch,
yeah.
but they're cooked through, so they're perfect.
Yeah, even the peppers are really good.
Mm-hmm.
And the mushrooms are pretty good, and I'm not...
Yeah. That mushroom I ate was dynamite.
Really
It
good.
sucked up all the flavor of the steak juice.
Mhm.
I can easily say, my personal opinion, so far, this is the one to beat. This is the best steak and cheese we've had.
That guy,
Yeah.
okay,
I'm mad I didn't go
we
with him.
didn't go with him.
Nope.
He didn't give the best offer for the roof.
He gave the best suggestion for a sandwich, though.
But this is the best suggestion for the sandwich. If he ever finds us somehow, right? If he's watching,
Yep.
right? Thank you.
Yes.
This is better, and I'm not a fan of steak or mushrooms.
The mushroom
I
is
think
really
that
good.
this is probably, depending what mood I'm in, I would say this is better than the regatta.
You know, I didn't want to go that far, but I will say this is hands down the steak and cheese to beat. Like I liked the all, what was it? It wasn't All Star. Major League roast beef, and
That one was good.
That was good, and
Even
I
D'Angelo's was
really
really
liked
good.
the D'Angelo's one, but there is so much more flavor in
It's
this
the
one.
bread.
It's all of it. The bread, the cheese.
Yeah.
We were complaining about the other ones not
This is
having
very
enough cheese.
cheesy. This is what I was hoping the melts would be like from Subway.
Yep.
This is what I was hoping the melts would look like from Subway. And this is what I was hoping we would get when we ordered the melts at Subway.
Mm-hmm. We didn't.
We didn't get melts the second time. First time we did. You can go back and watch those if you're so inclined.
No, so your honest opinion, this one's, I personally think it's the best one.
I don't like steak. I think it's the best one.
It has a beautiful flavor. And sometimes you get a steak and cheese, and it can be almost on the dry side. This one is nowhere near the dry side.
No, it's so cheesy.
Mhm.
The meat, so good.
You don't need teeth to chew
Is this better than the Regatta?
You know, I like the oil and the vinegar and the stuff, but adding the hots to this, it is a few dollars more, but this is, to me, I think, it depends what mood you're in.
Yeah.
Because you can't beat that Italian
You can't
club.
beat it.
I don't know what it is about it.
You can't.
But this is a better sandwich, I do believe. Yes.
I would get one of both and eat them both.
There you go.
That's what I would
Would
do.
I want to do just what we did?
If you're ever in the area.
And cut it in half and
Yeah.
eat half of each? Yes.
Mm.
Like, because this is actually, and it's funny because I've been looking like the best Philly cheesesteak in like Massachusetts. I Googled it, and this thing keeps popping up. Charlie's cheesesteak, and there's a bunch of them all around. I've never seen them. I don't know anything about them, and depending on where you get them, there's been mixed reviews. They're all 4 stars and above, and it's a chain. So there's some all over Massachusetts. So if anyone's eating there, let me know if they're any good.
If you're ever in the area.
It is like a fast food type
I would
place.
say if you're ever in Massachusetts to begin with,
Mm-hmm.
this is worth like an 8-hour drive.
Right.
to get.
This really, this steak.
Go on an adventure.
This
and get
steak,
this
I mean,
steak
it
and
is
cheese and
so.
get the other one.
I don't know if you can tell.
And you might not like it.
I don't know if you can
But
tell
we
like how
love it.
juicy it is. Like it is really and flavorful. But it's not a. They didn't season it with something like the one thing that Major League Roast Beef did was they used like a bell seasoning. And it changed the taste. It wasn't a traditional steak and cheese.
This keeps it kind of
This tastes still like the steak.
with a ton of steak. There's a large amount
there's
of
a
steak.
good
in
amount
this.
of steak in
I think
this.
the hots fits this one better.
I'd like
Than the
hot
other
sauce.
one.
Absolutely.
I think I think it's just a better overall. I think because there's less of the oils and whatever the magical stuff in the Italian club.
Yeah.
This one, there's less to combat it.
Mm-hmm.
So it fits in so much better, I think. But it does fit in really well with the other one too.
And I will say too, when we did D'Angelo's, one, not even a complaint, one thing was, I think it would be better
Yeah.
if we put mayonnaise on it. I don't think this one would be better with mayonnaise.
I
Just
think it
because
doesn't need
it's
it.
so good and it's so juicy, you don't need that extra hit of, would it be better? It could be, because I like mayonnaise anyways.
Yeah.
But this was dynamite.
This is magical.
I'm actually sad I didn't go with him. His price was more, a
Yeah.
lot more than the other one we went for.
But this guy has a good taste.
He and it's funny because he actually recommended like 3 other restaurants that are in Rhode Island that he had gone to.
We might have to call him just for more suggestions.
and I'm gonna have to. I know.
We'll pay him for suggestions.
I know one of the restaurants and 2 of the other ones were close by. Excuse me. I'm gonna have to seriously look into it
Yeah.
because he was raving about a chicken parm at one of them too. So, and we know we like them. So,
We do like it.
this is definitely this right here is the steak and cheese to beat.
Yeah.
So, if anyone, again, we live in Mass. So, if
It's gonna
anyone
be hard to beat this.
lives
for us.
somewhere in a general area and you've had a steak and cheese that you think is out of this
Yeah.
world, just leave a comment down below and let us know where your favorite, whether it be a chain or whether it just be a
Wherever
local
it
diner,
is.
because depending where we are, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Massachusetts is close to a lot of other states, so, it might be over the border in New Hampshire. But if it tastes this good, I'll drive there
Mm-hmm.
just to try it. And we'll have to leave Finn home, but we can do an away trip. If this is definitely, and it's funny because as much as I knew he liked the Regatta Club,
Yeah.
and because it's just a happy little sandwich. And
I really liked it.
and people always say, Tom, you make it out to be the best. It is because the bread is so
It's
good.
so
It's
soft.
so filling. Even like
Yeah.
what we just ate, I am absolutely stuffed.
Oh, definitely.
But it's just so tasty.
For the money, see, this is the same size as what we got at Firehouse Subs, if not smaller, on the length.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much
Lengthwise.
goodness
But
that it tastes better than what we got at Firehouse Subs that one time.
You got to remember too, it's an Italian loaf though, so it
Correct.
is wider. It's
Yes.
fatter. Oops, shoot, no, there you go, Benny. I'm spitting my food out. It's so good.
Mr. Turtle approves, definitely.
No, yeah, Finn's been trying to get up for a minute here, but I was too busy eating. I know, you want to eat.
Benny Boo Boo.
Yeah, so no, this was definitely, and I was actually skeptical, and you can ask him, I was kind of like, you sure you want to go here? You sure?
For whatever reason, he didn't want to go.
I was kind of
and now I
afraid.
want to eat the mommy regatta. So
I keep.
we should have got 27 of these.
And it's funny because I actually said, you sure you don't want to get one just so you can eat a regular one on your own? But you would have wanted another steak and cheese. These were dynamite.
Which
I was
is crazy.
afraid. I was afraid to get the steak and cheese.
Because I don't like steak.
No, and not like it.
Yeah.
Because I do like their club a
So
lot.
much.
So deep down, I'm like, what if they make a bad steak and cheese? Because you never know. And I got the hiccups. I ate that
But
so
we
fast.
trusted the guy.
And I did. And I said, I want to try it because we've been doing all these steak and cheeses. And this is what I imagine a Philly cheesesteak to taste like.
This is what I imagine every grinder should taste like.
It is, yeah.
Because this is less money than all of them, and it's the best.
Well, the steak and cheese though was
Steak and cheese,
$9.25. So that was
still the cheapest steak and cheese we've gotten,
he wants the steak and cheese. You can't eat that. You're gonna get sick.
right?
Yeah,
It's
it probably is still
the cheapest
cheapest
steak
one
and
of them.
cheese.
Yeah,
It's way cheapest for the Regatta one. The Regatta.
and if you look at the messiness, like some people would frown on this. This is a badge of honor to me because you know what? This isn't because you can tell the difference. This isn't just
Put
straight.
that down.
Sorry, I'm trying to show the paper. This isn't just grease. This is straight flavor. Like this is like a beef au jus with cheese.
He wants to eat it.
No, you. It is so good. I will be shocked if they don't have this meat sitting in or dip it in a pool of au jus right before they serve it.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked if they don't, or if they don't ladle some on to get it.
Something.
It is so moist.
It's so soft. It's delicious.
It is so moist.
And there's a ton of it.
There was a good amount. Yes,
There was a really good amount.
There definitely was.
I liked how it wasn't just shredded though. It was still like, it was like more sliced.
Well,
I feel like.
it was thin cut,
Correct.
but
Not as much as every other
for
place.
all of you old people like me that
I'm not
have
old.
had steakums in their life, a steakum is good, but it tends to be dry if you don't. When you cook it, you kind of have to. It can dry out if you overcook them. They hit this with love. They I'm telling you, they have to have a beef au jus, and they have to have it. Either they dip it in it.
And it's cheesy as well.
Absolutely delicious.
I don't have an issue.
No, and out of all the, I will say hands down, out of all the grinders, period, that we've eaten so far, and I'll say it to Eric, if you think your two were good, you know where this place is. If not, call me, and I'll give you directions. Hands down, the best steak and cheese grinder I've ever had.
Yes.
I've ever had. I've never been to Philly. That's one of my goals. But
Yeah.
so if you guys have any place that you've ever been, wherever it might be, just leave a comment down below. Just you don't have to tell us if it's next to you or anything. Just leave a comment.
Check
down
them
below.
out.
And
They might not have the bottom two locations no more. I think they closed one of them, so it might only be like this.
yeah, I'm not sure. I know the one
But-
that's open is the original store. I believe it's in Worcester, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
They used to have one in Westboro. What was the other one? Was it in Oxford or something?
Um,
It was all Central Mass, anyways.
Soup, salads, and more.
But they
They have
actually
a lot. They have a ton of stuff.
they serve a lot of food.
Their
Like,
menu is. We couldn't fit it in legible text on our wall right here. I don't think we could.
you can go online and
For
you
a
can
camera.
look. And you look under their at the menu on the first page was
Yeah.
weird, but if you go to actual like menus.com or something, it
Some.
brings up their menu, and it's like pages. Like you could keep scrolling, and it's funny because I had said to Ryan in the beginning, I know he wanted to have the club, and he's like, I want to do the review of the club,
Yeah.
even though we've had it, and I've had it a bunch of times, and I had said to him, well, you sure you don't want to try? Because I mean, they had a meatball and eggplant one, and like that to me, I was like, ooh, that sounds really good. And melted cheese like this, that would have been dynamite too. Are you gonna show them the actual
Yeah,
menu?
here's the menu. It might not be up to date, because this is menus.com or whatever. Can you read it?
I don't know if they can see it, but it's just pages. And when I tell you the size of the actual deli,
Oh, sorry.
I don't even think it's the size of my garage.
Anyways, you get the point. It's still going down. So.
I don't even think it's the size of my garage. It's not a big store, but I've seen people wrapped around and out and down the street at noontime. You don't want to go there at like lunchtime.
Well, you do because it's worth it.
Well, I'm just saying, like I've seen people wrapped around the store, but pre-COVID, mind you. This is back in the '80s. I've made a mistake to go there because there's a lot of companies right around in their general area. There's a big UMass Medical Center and stuff like that. But well, there's still UMass.
Oh yeah.
But the companies would phone in, and there would be boxes of food on a shelf, and then people just come in and they're like, "Oh, I'm taking this box for the company," and stuff like that. But again, dynamite
if you
food.
want the best grinders that we've ever had,
Yeah.
I believe this is your best.
And if you have a better one, or think you might have a better one, please leave a limit, because this goes into the realm of what I was talking about before. The places we're reviewing are nice, and I don't have a problem, and we're going to keep doing them when they come out with new stuff. This stuff, though, these are like the little hidden gems. You would drive by this deli 1,000 times if you didn't know. You literally wouldn't even see it.
We basically got this for a Big Mac meal.
Well, exactly. And these are the types of meals that, and thank you again for the recommendation, because I cannot stop watching the guy overseas that does that on Rate My Takeout. But these are the meals, like these are the hidden gems. I want to find the sushi in the gas stations, or I want to, not that I like sushi, but I want to find those really good places where only some people know about that are, like, to me, hands down.
We always say we drive by this taco sign. It says tacos.
It may be terrible. We have to try it.
We want to try it.
There's a company in another town that we drive through every once in a while, and they have a hot dog stand. And I don't think I ever drive by it where there's not people sitting at the picnic tables.
There's like 3 cars every time.
And there's always people there. And I actually looked them up, and they have like almost 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hot dog stand, but they're always packed, and it's out in front of a factory.
Wet teddy bears.
Wet teddy bears, right? It's just like, it's not much bigger than that. Like the commercial, wet teddy bears, get you wet teddy bears. But again, these are the places that I would rather go, because I prefer saying, hands down, best sandwich I ever had over, I'm highly disappointed on a dry burger and stuff like that. Like this, to me.
The sad thing is that this right here, right? I'm full.
Yes.
Right? I would be full, not even cutting them in half, just eating one.
Yep.
And I normally am. I only got it one other time. He can speak more. But you go to like McDonald's, and you get or Burger King, and you get a Whopper for $5 or $6.
Yeah.
Same price as this. It tastes like, it doesn't even have cheese on it. No cheese, and it doesn't come with hots.
These are the thing. And to go back to that show, that I love about that show is they got some banging food out there. Like, where all these places he's going, he's getting boxes of deliciousness. And I'm like, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Because there are places, and we just, again, we're new to eating actually food. Like,
we don't eat food.
No, we eat a lot of food, but I eat home-cooked food. Like, we don't go out. But something like this, or just like street food, or that's one thing Ryan's always said, too. I've never had, like, Korean barbecue. I've never had, like, different foods where, I know for a fact that there's a burrito place. Are we getting close? There's a burrito place in a town that I knew of that my brother's, all the workers say, and it's called like the Burrito Hut or something, and it's supposed to be the best burritos he's ever had.
Yeah.
And
what store was it that made the best? Something.
I don't know where you're going. I can't read your mind.
I can't read my mind.
If you tell me what it is, I would be able to tell you what you said.
That's why I'm trying.
Again,
anyways.
Some of the best food. Well, there was a gas station that my brother had some fried chicken out of that said it was some of the best fried chicken he's ever had. So, but he couldn't remember the name of it. It was down south anyways. But anyways, those are little hidden gems. So if you do have a place that has dynamite anything, whether it be eggplant parm, it doesn't matter what the meal
where
is.
it is.
That it's just, it might just be some, just leave a comment down below. Because these are the meals that I don't mind spending money for. We make a lot of comments on, is it worth it? Is it worth it? This is worth every penny that I spent. because I mean, you take Fridays, we spent
I mean,
$30-something.
this right
and
here,
we're angry.
The regatta that was like $6, it should be like 15.
It was a good.
If they would follow along with every other place,
that steak and cheese was out of this world.
The steak and cheese should be 15.
That was out of this world.
But it isn't. It ain't. And this is phenomenal.
That was hands down the best steak and cheese. This is what I imagine these steak and cheese, and they might be better. And
Yeah.
that's what's getting me excited, because if you do have a place that you think is better, leave a comment down below, because these are the things that when we started this that I kind of wanted to do, because this is what gets me excited. If you can't tell like how happy I am, this was a good meal.
Yeah.
This was a good meal, and I'm glad he talked me into it, because I was trying to steer him into somewhere else has a new
some
item.
chain restaurants have good food like this.
We just I haven't had out of he always says it a lot. I will say, to me, this is the best thing I've eaten on this channel out of the 140 reviews we've done.
The spicy noodles were really good.
Those were good, but this was better.
This was better.
It was better.
There's a few things that are close in my eyes. I think the Crunchwrap Supreme was...
I'm not saying those weren't good.
That was good.
I'm saying this is the best thing I've eaten.
No, this is
my opinion.
hands down the
That's
best.
just my personal
opinion. I
opinion.
agree. But there's most of it's like here. The Regatta's off the screen.
Oh, it's,
what we ate today.
That
and then
was
like
delicious.
the other stuff, like I would put the Crunchwraps, the Grande Crunchwrap here.
That was good.
I would put some other food here, like the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
This was next level. This was next level.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying we've eaten a lot of good food, and we've eaten a lot of bad food.
And we've eaten way more food that's way more expensive though.
That's what I'm saying. We've gone and spent $30 at TGI Fridays, and we're angry at the fact that everything we ate was bad. We spent half of the money, and I'm mad I didn't buy more, because this was that good. Like this, we are getting this again. We might not review it.
We might get it tomorrow.
This was delicious.
We might go back tomorrow and review something else.
I'm mad we didn't try the eggplant. I haven't had a nice eggplant palm. Oh,
he used to make one.
I haven't made one in a long time.
The groundhogs don't eat the eggplants.
They didn't. That's the only thing. They ate everything in our garden.
They even ate the hot peppers.
Yeah, but we came back and they left all our eggplant, and we made a bunch of eggplant palms. And again, but this was a dynamite.
This was fantastic.
So if you're anywhere in the Worcester area, look these guys up, and you'll drive right by them if you're not paying attention.
Even if you're like, I think if you're gonna go on vacation, I don't think Massachusetts should be the spot to go.
No.
But
if you're driving
you're driving on vacation for food, this is worth it.
And I will say to like Eric, if you haven't tried this, you have to. And I'll actually say to Audrey and my brother and sister-in-law, they are the ones who are huge fans of D'Angelo's. You need to try these guys' steak and cheese. Out of this world.
And
out of this world.
Has Jim had it, Jim?
He actually said he remembers it being a lot of bread. And it is, but to me, that's the best part of the grinder. But this steak and cheese, I don't even know if John likes steak and cheese. But if you ever back in town, you need to try this one. I'm not sure if he likes, I know he likes Italian. I don't know if he likes a steak and cheese, but this was
Try both again.
Yep.
If you ever come back.
Well, there you go. I know we're almost running out of time and we rambled on. So again, leave places down below. We may get to them, we may not. But if we can find food like this, I will drive a good distance to
I have to take the wrapper away before he eats it.
I will probably be licking this. There's not even a doubt. That was the...
Please subscribe.
Yes.
150.
Yeah.
The big 150. We're going to be eating spicy wings from Buffalo Wild Wings. The home challenge.
Yeah.
The Carolina Reaper.
Yeah.
With the Carolina Reaper sauce, ice cream. It comes with a headband. We're going to be eating it. And that will be fun. So let us hit 150, please.
That's it. So there you go. So that will be our review. Again, if you have a favorite restaurant with a favorite meal, let us know.
Yeah.
Because this was worth going again, hands down. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video.